Hey, my name is Brian. I forgot to turn my mic on.
I'm like, where is he?
That is Shane, and you're watching the Popcast Unleashed. Baby, this is the member stream, but the first half of this stream is going out for free. It's not part of the member system to our YouTube, our Twitch, and TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, various social media networks. And then after the first half of the show, we're going to strictly turn all that off and go straight only to the Popcast Prime. And that is where you'll see the remainder of the show. And real quick, for people that want to watch the whole show in its entirety and not just the first half, you know, you can, sorry, let me, I'm a little discombobulated. You can go to popcast.co/join, popcast.co/join. Right there, there's a URL. You're seeing that on the screen. If you go to popcast.co/join, you can see the whole show in its entirety. Now, real quick rundown of what we're talking about today. We're talking about He-Man. Shane watched the whole thing 5 times. He is ready to go on this He-Man thing. I'm telling you right now. He's been constantly texting me about He-Man. We're talking about Star Wars deepfakes. Apparently, the people that run Star Wars, Industrial Light and Magic, hired a famous deepfake artist to redo all the casting. It's a whole thing. Dexter revival, a brand new Dexter show coming out, which is gonna be great. Black Widow versus Disney. Doctor Who just quit. And then in the members section, we're talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife, Aquaman 2, not removing Amber Heard, Strange New World, rebooting Star Trek, the Flashpoint costume, and some new updates on that movie, which Shane's going to love this. It's part of the Snyderverse, which is great. And my favorite topic of today, the Waterworld TV series. But before we get into all of that, Shane, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? You know, it's funny. I got to sit here and listen to you basically say lies about me for like 3 minutes before I can say something. Oh, I can't wait to talk to you today, my friend. It feels like, you know, the week goes by really fast. I look forward to doing this with you. And there's just always so much great news going on. So this is going to be a lot of fun today.
Yeah, and because our show is like once a week, you know, we realize that maybe you might have heard this news somewhere else. But you know what you haven't heard? You haven't heard our take on
You haven't heard our take, right? Yeah.
Right. And you got to hear our take, or, you know, or not, but we would like it if you did.
Your life will be so much different if you hear us. I didn't say better or worse.
Just different. My brain is like super scattered because I'm looking at 5 screens and I'm trying to manage 5 streams at the same time right now. And it is really stressful. This is the first time I've done this many at the same time, and
you may have tackled too much for the first time.
Yeah, I might have overclocked a little too heavily on the brain department today. Hey, I also want to do the video of the day, but I don't want to step on your toes. You let me know when it's cool for us to do video of the day.
Oh, hey, let's do the video of the day.
All right. This one's really funny. So, Shane.
Yes.
Get your funny hat on.
I don't have
to say. All right, here we go. Video of the day, my friends. Here we go.
I just went to go get gas, and this man behind me, this man's probably like 50. He looks at my outfit and goes, "Your outfit matches very nicely." I'm like, "Oh, thank you, sir." Then he goes, "I really like your shoes." So I was like, "Oh, thanks." He goes, "What size of shoe do you wear?" I was like, 8.5. I'm at the register. I say 15 on pump 3. The man behind me speaks up, says, "Oh, I'll pay for her gas." So I was like, "Oh, no, sir, you don't have to do that." He's like, No, I insist. I go outside to go pump my gas. The guy comes back and asks me he could have a picture of my foot. Why would someone want a picture of my foot? I start laughing. This guy's not laughing. Dude, he was serious. "Oh, no, sir." He's like, "How much do you charge?" How much do I charge for a picture of my foot? I don't really know my rates yet. So he goes, "How about 20? What? Like, no? I would not do that. I don't know if that's illegal, but I just sold a picture of my foot.
Oh my God. video gets me every time. It's actually been a while. It's been out for a while, but this chick is just cracking up over the fact that someone wants to buy pictures of her feet. I love how when he offers her $20 and she goes, no, I don't think so. And he ends up raising the price to $80.
No, I think, I honestly, I think you relate to this so well because people have often wanted to see your body parts for money. So
yes, that's true.
Don't know why.
My
Okay.
OnlyFans is coming soon. Okay. Yeah, let's get into some news. Okay.
All right.
So first up on the docket, let's talk about He-Man, the He-Man review. And if you would like to, I can probably get that clip going. Just a heads up.
You should play the clip because I put it on Twitter because I thought, it's funny. I didn't watch the before we go. I didn't watch the Netflix after show right away. Like I watched all the episodes, and then but I missed the after show, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I see, there's an after show,
Right.
and I click on it, and to be honest with you, that after show really sheds a lot of light on things. If you're on Netflix and you didn't watch the after show, you should probably watch it because there's a lot of things there. There's comments and things that kind of leave you wondering, like, they kind of knew they were messing with things. So
Right.
it'll be fun to talk about.
All right, let's watch this clip.
All right.
There's just too many things for me to manage. I just realized it.
Joining me are my amazing co-hosts. We've got showrunner Kevin Smith and executive producer from Mattel TV, Rob David. If you haven't watched the whole first part of Master of the Universe Revelation, pause this right now, go watch, then come back. We'll wait. We will.
All right, we waited long enough. Let's spoil it, man.
We're good. We're safe. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Can you believe that we killed Adam twice, man? Bam! Twice. Not just once. Where you're like, that was crazy courageous to do it in episode 1. We did it in episode 5 as well. Nuts. Adam twice, man.
Wow. I mean, that just like gives it all away.
I know, dude. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and
The after show was not done. Like the fan lashback this was already filmed. This was in the can before all the fans started lashing back for the Masters of the Universe. So that means that they already knew there was trouble brewing, and no one's talking about this yet.
I think it's hilarious how insane Kevin Smith looks.
Dude, he really, I know he lost a lot of weight.
I know, but he looks like he's losing it. I don't want to make assumptions on someone's mental health, but he's like, we killed him twice, man. Twice, man. And you're like, whoa, take it down, bro. And that guy's face, the producer's face, is just epic.
Yeah, it's like, it's funny they went to like a shot of him making that face, which, I think they knew what was coming. And they must have had internal talks that they're like, look, you're doing some things here that fans probably aren't going to like.
100%. You killed the He-Man twice. I don't know.
Adam twice, and you're like really proud of it. Okay.
So weird.
I will say this. For everyone who's saying, there's not enough He-Man, it is possible that when the next 5 episodes drop, there could be plenty of He-Man. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. What we do know is that some of the things Kevin Smith said before this show came out, like the fact that it's going to be centered around He-Man, it's definitely He-Man centered. And yet I've seen it, and listen, I walked into it like, I'm going to be completely open to it, and I'm not going to make any judgments because I want to watch something good. And after the first episode, it becomes a Teela-centric show.
Right.
Because they have no choice. And if you haven't seen it yet, here's some spoilers. Sorry. So he kills He-Man and Adam in the first episode. And if you're a fan of the show, Teela was like kind of a wannabe sidekick who was like, Adam's friend, or however you wanted to say it. And she would always end up helping along. She was a very small part of the show. She wasn't small, but she was a part of the show, but not a huge part of the show.
Right.
So basically they kill He-Man, and then like Teela gets mad because she didn't know that Adam was He-Man, right?
Right.
So she didn't know in the show. You're right. There was a reason they kept that from her, because it was a secret identity, which they did with a lot of superheroes, which kind of made sense for her protection, I guess, or whatever, for Adam's protection. And so what happens is she gets really mad. And this is like the first part where the show like really goes weird to me.
Right.
It like loses it almost in this, like, you lied to me. And she like freaks out. And I hate you all, because they basically say,
how dare you?
Yeah. Well, when Adam gets killed, they take Man at Arms, and the king basically says, you're fired. You're supposed to be protecting him. Teela, escort him away. And she's like, piss off, dude. She said it was such a today's way. What it reminded me of is kind of like, it reminded me of like how a millennial teenager would respond to the situation. It would be like completely over exaggerated, completely over the top, and
dramatic, overly dramatic,
right? And so I thought, well, that was a little weird, but okay. So they're trying to tell a story here, not a problem. And then it goes on, and it goes to the future, and you got Teela, and she's got a new friend, girl that they seem very close, and Teela looks totally different. Half of her head is shaved hair, and she's all of a sudden now as buff as any bodybuilder you've ever seen, and any reflection of what she used to look like is gone. It's like a completely new looking character. And I know one of the complaints was, wow, she looks like a dude. Yeah, she does. She looks like a dude. But here's the thing is, like, I don't know. I mean, there are some women bodybuilders who look like, I don't know, maybe there's more to the backstory, maybe the reason, but I can tell you it doesn't look appealing because it's so far removed from her other character, whereas all the other characters still look similar. They didn't have major body changes.
Well, she found the amulet of testosterone.
Basically, yeah. I mean, she
put
was
that amulet on.
She was a talented fighter. She was going to be next, she's going to be Master at Arms. So it's not like she didn't have skills, but for whatever reason, like she went to the yard and started pumping iron, dude. I mean, like, for real.
She went to the alley, and she got some secret help from a guy with a trench coat. Like, yo, man, you wanna buy some steroids, bro?
Yeah, if Sarah Michelle Gellar is not doing that voice, you're like, you kind of think it's a dude, honestly.
Right.
So, but the thing is that, okay, I want to put it this way. So everybody's like, well, it's because Kevin Smith lied, because the show itself is not bad. The artwork is great. The story, if you've never seen He-Man before and you didn't watch the show when you were a kid, and you like walked into this as a completely new IP, you'd be like, oh, this isn't bad. This is pretty good. Right? Because it actually is compelling, and it's not bad. But the problem is if you're a He-Man fan, then when you watch a Masters of the Universe, you expect He-Man.
Right.
So I've been thinking about this. I've been trying to find, like, how do you like compare this to something else? And at first I thought, well, maybe Superman to Lois Lane, but no, because Teela was more than Lois Lane. So it would almost be like, I'm going to say Batman and Robin. So it's like you go to see Batman, and Robin may be there. And that's okay, because Robin had his moments.
Robin busts through the door with all steroided out.
But in the first 30 minutes of the movie or whatever, 15 minutes of the movie, Batman sacrifices himself, and now Robin must become the hero. And now the rest of the movie is about Robin. Now, as a fan, you're going to be like, well, crap, I kind of want to see Batman, And so that's what's happening here. And the fact that Kevin Smith is just railing against fans. I mean, he's cursing fans out, and because you don't like it, tough shit, blah, 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 whatever he's saying. There's a lot of negativity. He needs to be quiet, honestly, because whatever fans he's holding on to, they're getting tired of hearing his mouth, because he did lie. And then he sort of, I don't know if he lied. In his mind, I don't know. I'm not going to say if he lied or not. It's definitely not the truth. Teela is the center of the show. Maybe He-Man and Adam become the center of the show in the second half, but who knows? Because he just had Skeletor put a javelin through Adam's back and killed him as he's about to become. He's like, I have the power, and he like kills him.
The first half of the He-Man show, they keep killing the guy before he can turn into He-Man.
Right. And Skeletor ends up becoming basically the master of the universe. He becomes He-Man. Well, he becomes his Skeletor version. So, that's fine. But
is it though?
Well, here's the thing: is it's fine if that's what it's going to be, right? If that's the way they want the show to be, that's fine. But don't tell fans that it's a He-Man centered show if it's not He-Man. It's not.
Don't put He-Man in the center of the poster.
No, they said, hey, we hear it's going to be like Teela centered. Oh, no, okay. No. That could be the furthest thing from the truth. Well, the reality is it was. I mean, I'm telling you, from looking at this as a totally neutral person, like the whole, killing off the Orca character, fine. It wasn't that big of a deal. I don't know. People kind of got upset about that, but he actually exited pretty well. I didn't think it was bad at all. Some of the other things people complaining about, like Adam's getting pushed around. Well, guess what? Adam got pushed around in the original cartoon series. That was the whole point. It was like he was the Clark Kent to Superman. He was weakling. And in this show, you mostly see Adam. You get a few He-Man flashbacks. So it'll be curious to see what happens going forward, Brian. But I got to tell you, after watching it, I will say it's not poorly made, but it's obvious that Kevin Smith didn't love He-Man. He didn't.
Right.
When he was growing up, he didn't want. Maybe he watched it, but he didn't love it. And I know there's some evidence that in some podcasts he said he didn't like He-Man or whatever, and now he's saying he loves He-Man. But the reality is the executive producer of this show, he didn't care for the original character or his story arc. He just wanted to make a really cool show, and he used him as a weapon in order to mess with people's emotions. And now he's getting the backlash from that, and he just has to live with it.
Right. Another good reason why maybe if you want to make something unique, maybe just make something unique. Like don't grab an IP that millions of people are attached to and go, I'm going to make something unique from this IP. No, just make something unique. Stop trying to attach some unique your vision and unique vision of something you have onto existing IP if you're not going to honor the existing canon of IP. Now, if it's a complete reboot, maybe you have a little more wiggle room. But then if that's the case, definitely don't go and advertise one thing and then get them something else and then get mad when those people are like, yo, you advertised this and I got this. You're getting mad that you are the one that sold the false bill of goods here. It's not the fans.
Yeah, and I don't know. He's saying now that this was his Superman story. Like he was never going to be able to write a Superman story, so this was his Superman story. So what is he saying? Like he kills Superman sacrifices himself so Lois Lane can? No, I guess actually I think it's supposed to be Wonder Woman. That was the compromise, like Teela's Wonder Woman or something.
Kevin Smith has that famous story about how he actually wrote a Superman script. It was supposed to be played by Nicolas Cage. And the producer on it was the same producer from Wild Wild West, and he kept trying to get Kevin Smith to add giant spiders into the script. And Kevin Smith's like, bro, I don't want giant spiders in the script. It doesn't even match. And he's like, yeah, but what if Brainiac is writing a giant robot spider? And he's like, what's the deal with you and spiders? And then like 3 years later, Wild Wild West comes out, and they're writing a giant robot spider. Which was really into spiders. But he wrote a script. Obviously, the project didn't get off the ground. But you're telling me that if he really wanted to make a Superman script, first of all, I think he's done Superman cartoons. I think he's had opportunities to do Superman stuff. So that's...
I don't know. It sounds like a lot of excuses. It sounds like he's rallying. I mean, look, he made some mistakes. He said some things he shouldn't have said. Maybe he should have just stayed quiet about it. Maybe the big artwork on the Masters of the Universe poster shouldn't have He-Man at the center of it. If He-Man's not going to be the center of the story, Teela. It doesn't say He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, which is what the old show was called. It says Masters of the Universe Revelations. So yeah, guess what? We got a revelation. Revelation is Teela's the new, I don't know. It's not he.
Wasn't she She-Ra? Who was She-Ra?
I didn't do She-Ra. So you got me. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I didn't do She-Ra. I know it's connected, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't do it.
All right. Well, listen, that's it for He-Man. If you guys have seen it, let us know what you guys think in the comments. I tried to watch it, but I'm not really a He-Man fan, and I'm not really a fan of. I wasn't really a fan. I didn't like the first episode. It didn't grab me, and like Shane said, it was very dramatic, and I just detest overly dramatic things. I can't stand it. Like I'm trying to finish the Flash, the CW series of Flash, and look at this shirt, Velocity 9, right?
Oh yeah. Nice.
And there was a time when that was a great show. And it is not a good show now. Might be the worst thing I've ever seen. It's so bad. Nothing makes sense. Everything is weirdly dramatic. Characters are like just randomly coming back out of nowhere. And there's like all these little white flashes. It's the weirdest thing. It's so bad. So same thing is like, I'm having a hard time finishing something that I started 7 years ago because it's so overly dramatic and it's exposition and drama and nothing connects. It's just bad writing. I can't do it.
I gave up after season 5. Honestly, I haven't watched season 6 and I won't watch season 7 likely. So, I mean, unfortunately, I like Grant Gustin. So
I do like Grant Gustin, but I feel like Grant Gustin is on this sinking ship, and he's like, I'm the main character. I'm getting paid a bunch. I got to stick around doing my thing. People around him are leaving the show in droves.
Yeah.
Tam Kavanaugh left the show. Like most of the original cast, except for Grant Gustin, is out. Even Iris is leaving the show, which that would be an improvement because that character sucks. All right, moving on. So that's it about He-Man and the Flash. Apparently, I started to add it in there. Let's talk about Star Wars deepfakes, and this is weird, Shane.
Yeah,
this is a weird one.
it's not.
Sorry, I had to cough. I tried to mute my mic. It did not work.
It's funny. I don't have a mute button on my mic, and I'm like, because I keep clearing my throat as well, and I apologize to everybody out there for that. This whole deepfake thing is, do you know what I love about this? It just goes to prove that if you're good at something, you might just be a YouTuber, but if you're good at something, I mean, you could get hired by Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
That's very true. Yeah, the thing about these deepfakes is, okay, so this guy, okay, let's talk about what deepfakes are. Deepfakes is when, let me just go back to live here so it's not weird. Deepfakes are when you take, let's say, thousands of images of the same person's face. Let's say Gal Gadot, right? Because it was a very famous deepfake of Gal Gadot, and they used it for something untoward. Okay. But you take a bunch of pictures of a celebrity's face, and then you take all those pictures, and then you use AI, machine learning, to find every angle of that face, every piece of every angle, and they basically match it up to an existing, to another actor's face. So people were using that to create fake spicy content of celebrities, and it looks just like them. People used it to put Donald Trump's face on an actor's face. So an actor's sitting there talking, and it looks like Donald Trump talking. And there's also deep fake audio where you can take thousands of hours of audio and create whatever you want to say. So essentially, you could take any president or any famous person, you can make them say and do whatever you want.
It's sort of scary in a way.
Right, it is scary. Well, now that's the bad side of it. The good side of it is what this guy has been doing. And this guy basically this guy was creating deepfakes of his own, taking scenes from The Mandalorian, like this one here. And his version was even better than the actual version in the show. And so when they saw that, when Industrial Light and Magic saw that, they're like, oh, well, we got to hire this dude, because apparently the next season of Mandalorian is going to have a ton of cameos from past characters that aren't alive anymore, or they're older. And so they hired this YouTuber to create those scenes, which is awesome. He also did General Tarkin, whatever his name is.
Okay.
And I remember in Rogue One, the movie version of that looked real weird, but his version looks like the actual actor. Looks legit. Looks like a real scene. It's really cool. What's that?
He's good at it.
Right. So he's really good at it, and very talented. In fact, back in the day, Collider used that same tech to create deep fakes of George Lucas basically talking. So he had this actor sit down, and he would say a bunch of crazy, horrendous stuff about Star Wars or whatever. And they deep faked his face onto it, and it went viral. In fact, that was the last thing Collider ever did. No offense, Collider. And so it's really cool tech. And if it's used in the right way, awesome. If it's used in the wrong way, terrifying. So,
yeah, no, it looks like this guy's name Shamook. And he got hired basically for his work, and his work is excellent. And so we're likely to see in the upcoming season of The Mandalorian, his work is going to be in that. So.
Yeah, he also used his skills to deepfake Will Smith into the Matrix franchise, and to smooth over Henry Cavill's face during his appearance in the 2017 Justice League film. So you remember when he had the mustache gate?
Oh yeah.
I guess he used it to fix those scenes, which is like, oh, the studio couldn't do
that, or they just I don't want to go into that,
because I was I was trying to defend that movie so bad. And every time they brought up the whole mustache thing, I'm like, yeah, you're right. That scene sucks. It doesn't even need to be in the movie, And it seems like the $1 billion studio could have fixed it, but whatever, Yeah, so that's really cool stuff. Glad to see people getting work like that. Talented artist. It's nice that they actually allowed him to talk about it. I can totally see ILM not wanting him to, because now that there is some crazy cameos coming up in the next season of Mandalorian.
Okay, well, yeah, they're going to have to do something now that they've got rid of Gina.
That's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
All right, so enough about Star Wars. Let's talk about, Shane, did you ever watch Dexter?
What's funny? I watched the first season, but that's as far as I got. And I actually kind of liked the show.
Okay.
But the problem is that it got a little too, I don't know, a little too weird for me.
Murdery?
Got a little too murdery, and a little bit, I don't know how much I want to be inside that guy's head. I don't know how much I want it to be that I want to, think of him as a good guy, which is kind of what it was. He had this problem that his father helped him kill people. It's very deep. It's very dark. Very
right,
dark.
It is. So this guy is basically a serial killer. His adopted cop father was like, just give you a rundown of Dexter. He's like, look, I love you. I love this kid. And obviously I'm seeing all the tendencies of someone who's a killer, a serial killer, right? A psychopath. I'm going to teach him how to funnel those tendencies, those urges into society building.
I guess that's the way to put it. Only kill bad people.
Right. So he came up with this code. You can only kill other killers.
Yeah.
So you can kill other killers, not other criminals. They specifically have to be a killer. If they're not a killer, they're off limits. So Dexter is like the spider that hunts the spiders, right? And the show is basically about him hunting down killers, and then also not getting caught, and
Because
some people finding out. What's that?
Because he's part of the police.
Right, because he works as
Works.
as like the crime tech,
Crime
like
scene, yeah.
the blood splatter analyst.
Right.
It's
It's very twisted. I mean, very interesting, but I just got tired of. I think I got tired of him dragging bodies around and I don't know. It was like it would be great for a movie. I felt like it was just too much for a TV show. If some people love it, it's cool. I might revisit it now that they're gonna do something more. So what
I loved it. I loved every episode, pretty much every episode of Dexter, up until the final episode, of which I still, to this day, have never seen.
Wow. So you saw everything up to the final.
Right.
What
Because-
made you, without giving it away, what made you not watch it?
Yeah, a friend of mine was like, "Hey, I just saw the this is back before streaming. I guess it's not that long ago. But yeah, a friend of mine was like, "Yeah, I saw the Dexter finale, and you're not gonna be happy." And I'm like, "Cool, all right, I'll stop."
That was it, huh?
Yeah, he's someone I trust his judgment. It was actually Jason. He was really into. He loves the art of cinema and television, and he's like, it's crazy how good they were up until this the way they dealt with that character was not the right way. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna leave my version in my head of Dexter up here. I'm not gonna allow it to be degraded at all. So I just didn't watch it.
Well, it's funny because I just read the first paragraph of this of the New Blood, Dexter the New Blood, and basically it tells you what happened to him.
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't want to watch it. I don't want to read it. Don't read it to me.
I mean,
You
it's
gonna
kind
read
of
it?
important.
Really?
Yeah, because basically what happens at the end of that is the reason why this show is where it is.
Okay. All right, Shane. Go ahead.
You want to hear?
Go
read it?
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah,
So,
I can hear
so
it.
it says here, set 10 years after the show's controversial ending, Dexter New Blood picks up with Dexter Morgan in his new life in the small town of Iron Lake, New York, having went missing during Hurricane Laura. So apparently the show ended with him going missing,
I don't know.
right? So
Yeah.
if the show ended with him going missing, this is basically where he shows up. So maybe, maybe the problem was they were like, wait a second, you end it with the guy's just gone.
Well,
That's-
maybe it's not that bad then if it was implied that he was missing.
Right. So I think Jason screwed you over, man. You should go back and watch it.
I mean, listen, it was controversial for a reason. It wasn't just me that thought that. I didn't want to see a version of Dexter that didn't live up to the Dexter hype,
went against his character. Right.
Right. And I felt that probably went against his character. I don't know about, I guess I'm gonna have to watch before this next season comes out. I will have to watch it. What I do like is the headline says, one of the things we all agreed on is that this is not to be Dexter season 9.
That's cool.
So it's a new show.
Because it does talk about how the ending was very controversial. They wanted to know if this revival is like a redemption for the series because it deserved a better ending. And there was apparently a really polarized reaction from fans. Now, the guy who made it says, I think the ending was mystifying, confounding, exasperating, frustrating. And I think that this is a show that's very important to all of us, and the chance to revisit it and maybe in the process redefine the sense of the show's ending and the sense of the show's legacy was certainly part of our motivation. So really, Dexter New Blood is an opportunity to fix Dexter.
Okay.
So that might be good for you.
I mean, I'll take it. Why not? Listen,
Yeah.
you want to give me a whole new season? I'll watch that ending. I will.
Okay.
I'll
All
watch
right, so
it,
you watch
and then
the
I'll
ending?
watch the whole new season,
Okay, that makes sense.
which is apparently coming out Sunday, November 7th of this year.
Really? Wow, they've already got it. They're moving on it then.
Yeah. So this year, November 7th on Showtime, which
It's Showtime. Okay.
I think I have Showtime. I don't know.
Oh,
I'll
you
get
got it.
I'll
You
get
got
it if I
everything.
have to. I got everything. Yeah. All
You
right.
got it all.
Okay.
All right.
All right, enough about Dexter. Let us know if in the comment section if you're going to watch Dexter.
If you're a fan, yeah, we'd love
If
to
you're
hear
a
that.
fan, let us know. All right, let's talk about Disney versus Black Widow.
Yeah, this kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I mean, it's not that Scarlett Johansson needs to do any more Marvel movies,
Right.
but she pretty much just made sure she's never going to be in a Disney movie ever again.
Right.
So she must, and she probably knew this. I mean, and if it's true, she's saying that she's lost out on over $50 million
Oh my God.
due to the shift away from the exclusively theatrical release. So apparently, when this movie was being made pre-COVID, Scarlett Johansson is saying that there was an agreement that her movie would only be a theatrical release. But of course, when Black Widow came out, it streamed on Disney. You could pay extra money to see it on Disney, or you could go to the theater. And she's saying that cut into her cut of what she's supposed to make.
Because they make more money at the theater versus the premiere?
Well, according to her, she doesn't make money off of the streaming portion of it. So if everybody had to go to the theater to watch it, then she would have made more money, because that's where her money comes from. Because the deal was made before Disney Plus was really even, I don't even think going streaming on Disney Plus wasn't a thing.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, because it was made before the pandemic. I gotta say, interesting is that she's probably really pissed, because she probably, knowing how much money that Marvel movies make, she probably put a lot of her contract in the back end of the film.
Right.
And the back end of the film didn't include streaming. By the way, Disney can make this right just simply by offering the streaming revenue too.
Right. Well, I read something here that talked about the fact that she's already made $20 million off of this movie.
Right, but
so
that was her additional compensation on top of the 20 million.
Maybe they're like, look, you made $20 million. Just knock it off.
Yeah, but maybe she only revisited the character because she knew that it would break the bank.
A big payday, right?
Like, remember when we talked about back in the day, when we talked about Robert Downey Jr. coming back for the 2-part Infinity War and Endgame, right?
Yeah.
When after Iron Man 3, he was like, he was gonna hang up his spurs. They even like took the thing out of his chest, and they basically sort of wrote him off, right? But his character was so well loved that he started making cameos and everything, and big part of the franchise. We talked about back then, at some point Disney was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know you want to do other movies, but boop, boop, boop. And that's the
right.
dump truck backing up to his garage,
right,
and just filling his entire living room with cash. So, Scarlett Johansson's like, cool, I died in Endgame. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it.
Right.
And they're like, we'll come back and make a prequel. I wouldn't even think that, of course she wants to make money, but maybe a big portion of the reason why she was willing to come back and make a prequel was the amount of money that she could have received. And if she missed out on $50 million, that's not chump change, dude.
Well, here's what Disney said. So Disney pushed back hard. Now, they didn't say they didn't push back. They pushed back hard against Johansson's arguments. In a statement issued to Yahoo Finance, Disney said there is no merit whatsoever to this filing. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID.
Oh, shut up!
I swear to God, that's exactly what they said.
Oh, shut up!
They threw COVID at her, bro.
Oh, you know what, man? I'm awake now. I was sleeping until
Holy
that moment.
Shisa, right?
Are you kidding me?
That's
you
what
kidding
they-
me, Disney? Shut
call it
up!
that,
You're
right?
making billions of dollars.
Dude.
I can't believe you're gonna. Oh, how
Wait,
horrible
wait.
for you to undermine the victims of the. Shut up!
Right? So they're basically trying to I don't know what they're trying to, public sentiment. It sounds very,
No, they're gaslighting her, bro.
yeah, it sounds very woke to me.
Yeah, they're gaslighting her. That's
so,
crazy.
So they continued to say, it added, Disney has fully complied with Miss Johansson's contract. And furthermore, the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she has received to date. Well, let me tell you something, Disney. If that was the case, she wouldn't be so mad and she wouldn't be doing this and she wouldn't be basically ending her career with Disney over this thing if that was the case. So something's not right here.
Yeah, no, you release. Look, and this is so telling. I bet you the numbers for Disney Plus, I bet you they're high.
Probably, yeah.
I bet you there are a lot more families that are watching family content at $30 versus the $90 plus it's going to cost you to go to the theater. In addition to taking a family of 4 to the theater, not just, let's just talk about tickets alone. Minimum $10 a pop, right?
Right.
$10. So already, family of 4, that's $40 minimum. Now you want drinks, you want Coke, overpriced condiments and food and whatnot. There's another $20 minimum. And you got to drag your entire family to a theater.
Right.
So let's say minimum going to the theater to watch this thing with a family of 4 is going to cost $60 minimum. Right?
Huh.
Right? Minimum on top of the paint. And if you're a father or a mother or a parent, you know, putting your kids in the car, I don't care if you have 1 or 3, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, no, and it's true. And
$30, you can watch it at home with 99-cent bags of popcorn. Come on,
right.
bro.
Yeah, you're paying for that big screen. And there's a lot of people who just don't want to go to the movies. And I see what they're saying. Basically, what Disney's saying is you want to deny the people who don't want to go to the movies because of COVID. That can watch it on Disney streaming, Disney Plus. You want to deny them? That's what they're doing. They're trying to like turn it into that, like, oh, so they shouldn't get to watch Black Widow because you want everybody to be in danger going to the movie.
Oh my God, that bothers me so much.
Oh, it's terrible, terrible.
Oh, you wanna deprive families of being able to see it because they want to get COVID? You suck. Oh my God.
Well, this is interesting. So, the New York Times actually ran something which is pretty interesting. It basically
shut your mouth, trap. I will punch you in your gut. Don't mess with me. I'm sorry. I can't help.
Keep going, Mickey.
No, I mean, here's real quick before you get into that. Why don't you just release the numbers for Disney Plus and give her a cut of that?
They did release it. So this is what's interesting. Disney rarely releases streaming numbers, but it did report that Black Widow grossed $158 million at the box office and earned another $60 million from at-home purchases. So they made $60 million from the at-home Disney Plus additional purchases. Now, I don't know how much that she's supposed to get from that, but
so can you repeat those numbers? 60 million Disney Plus, 120 at the box office.
So right, yeah. So as of, let me get the reporting on this, the date. As of July 29th, so as of yesterday, this story by the New York Times indicates that Black Widow grossed $158 million at the box office and earned another $60 million from at-home purchases.
Okay, so
I'm not sure how she lost $50 million, but
so here's the deal. Everybody. Assuming those numbers are correct and not padded, because guess what? Disney can give us whatever numbers they want. It wouldn't change anything. This is not a legal binding interview. But let's say it's 140, 150, 160, right? Mm-hmm. Disney actually made more money on Disney Plus. I mean, but the number itself doesn't matter. Let me tell you why. 150 million at the box office, right? Disney's getting a small portion of that. Okay, they gotta share it with the theaters. Now, I'm not saying it's a tiny portion, but what's that?
No, so the theaters don't get much of the box office.
Oh, I thought they got half.
No, they don't. They get a very small portion of the box office. That's why we pay so much for popcorn and drinks, bro.
Oh, I reversed it.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's say that those numbers are right. Again, though, they're keeping 100% of that 60 million.
Yes, yeah, you're right, 100%. And it's not just her. Also, theater owners have blasted Disney for the decision, arguing that the at-home release cannibalized Black Widow's box office potential. You know, and how do you put this movie? I know the movie wasn't great. You know, a lot of people didn't like it, but you know, when you compare it against the other Marvel movies, now it's going to show up, you know, pretty low on the list.
Guys, it was better than Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel made $1 billion. So,
wow, yeah,
it was much better. I'm going to repeat that. Much better than Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was such a giant cash grab. It was sandwiched between two of the largest Marvel movies of all time. And most people thought they had to watch that to understand, and they did not.
Did not. No, it wasn't any. No.
That movie was so pointless in every way. It added nothing to the story of the MCU in any way. The character wasn't good. The acting wasn't good. It was overdramatic. Didn't make any sense. Didn't even fit with anything that we had already previously seen. It was a total bomb for me. I had zero interest in it. At least Black Widow had some cool catchphrases and cool fight scenes. And yeah, I didn't like some of the changes they made to the characters, but at least it fit into the story, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, $1 billion. So
we'll see how this ends up panning out. Some people have, and listen, I don't know why. It really bothers me when people go out on Twitter and they say rumors, and then they say things like, you know, Amber Heard and Emily Blunt now have problems with streaming and losing money off of streaming to Disney Plus while their movies in theater. And I'm like, I really wish they'd give some sort of background on why they believe that's the case. It sure sounds like a lot of conjecture to me.
Right.
Like maybe that could be a problem. Well, let me tell you something. Disney won't let this go any further. Every contract they do from now on will be very specific to make sure they can continue making money off of Disney Plus. That's it.
Now, on that same note, though, if you have a decent agent, there's no reason why you don't take Disney Plus into account and include that in your numbers too.
Well, what they're saying is for these people who this was not who did their contracts before Disney Plus, so they started releasing on Disney Plus, they didn't have a chance to do that. The contract was done. So Disney's kind of changing the game and then hiding behind COVID as an excuse to make millions of dollars.
That bothers me so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it bothers me. Oh, it bothers me so much that you're gonna, and they like publicly, the horrific and prolonged global effects shut up. Oh my God. Oh, Disney is such a garbage studio. And I own a ton of stock in it. So I hope you guys keep doing well.
keep going. Well, it's funny because, you know, there's been suggestions that the movie studios are becoming more powerful as a result of COVID, because as the focus shifts from the box office to these hybrid streaming platforms, they're just making more money and they have more control. So
yeah, the last 5 movies I've seen were just direct to streaming. Like they were made by streaming platforms. Like
yeah,
I saw Boss Level and The Tomorrow War and a couple other ones. These were never even considered to go to theater. They're just they're Amazon originals or Hulu originals or Netflix originals, whatever. Yeah, theater's dying, bro. Again though, I do have some stock in AMC to the moon.
Right.
All right, because I think the only theater that will probably survive the theater genocide will be AMC.
I'm betting on Cinemark, but okay.
I mean, I like Cinemark personally, but I don't know. AMC owns the land, Cinemark doesn't. All right, hold the conversation for another time. Listen, let's talk about the next topic. Doctor Who just quit.
Yeah, this is an interesting story. So Jodie Whittaker, 3 seasons as Doctor Who, as the Doctor. What they're saying is that it was always her and Chris Chibnall it was always going to be 3 seasons. That was it. 3 seasons and they're out. But the reality is, you know, when you lose 1 million fans, you know, Doctor Who lost 1 million fans and over a lot of different issues. And we're not going to.
That's an incredible amount of money.
Right. So yeah, when season 12 came out, basically there was a 22% decrease
Oh my God.
from the first season. Yeah. So I got to tell you, it's pretty interesting. So a lot has been made about there being a female doctor and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think that's the problem. They changed the story. They did a lot of things that they shouldn't have done, and fans stopped watching. And that's really the best way that you can know whether you're doing well or not. If fans stop watching, you're not doing well. That's it.
Right.
So regardless of the situation, now they don't know who's going to replace her.
Yeah, guys. The reason why Shane says that is because art is subjective, right? You can like something that someone else doesn't like, right? But let's talk about hard numbers here. If the majority of your fans don't like changes you made, then it was a mistake. It doesn't matter if you personally liked it or you personally disliked it. Just hard numbers. If the majority of your fans, your customers, didn't like a change or a story direction, then it was a mistake. Like categorically, right? This is not a subjective thing. This is objectively a mistake.
Yeah, 100% true. And no, but they don't know yet who's going to take over. I mean, they're not going to stop making Doctor Who.
No, of course not. You don't stop making something that you've been making for 60 years after a couple bad years.
Right. So yet to be determined who's going to be the new Doctor, but it'll be interesting to see whether or not they, go back to a guy if they continue. I heard that Helen Bonham Carter might be someone who could be up for it, who's actually been very great in a lot of stuff. She does a lot of the darker stuff. She was in Planet of the Apes and a few different things. But
I mean, I'm down. I love Doctor Who. I haven't seen any of this Doctor Who. It didn't work for me, and I only saw half of the Peter Capaldi Doctor Who. I think I stopped watching in like 2016. I just the last season of Peter Capaldi, whatever his name is, reign as Doctor Who was boring.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It just wasn't. I mean, it was hard after,
it was so hard to, and some of these episodes were so convoluted, and it was all about Capaldi, and it was very personal, and it didn't make sense for the overall story. And there was this one episode that really, the last one I ever saw was when he was trapped in a time capsule or something, and it was so hard to wrap my head around. It wasn't even oh, this is so intelligent or so twisted and convoluted that's hard to understand. No, it was more none of this makes sense. And if you casually watch Doctor Who, you're going to find certain episodes are like that. They don't make sense because you're casual. But I was a lifelong Doctor Who fan, and I couldn't wrap my mind around anything that was happening. And that's when I stopped watching.
Well, and it was really hard to follow. Matt Smith was so good as Doctor.
He was.
I'll be honest. My secret crush is David Tennant. That's my favorite Doctor Who. But Matt Smith he really took the Doctor to the next level. So when Peter Capaldi came in, it was a different tone. And you're right. I think fans just kind of got a little bored. So
yeah,
see what happens coming up with the next Doctor though.
Yeah. So check it out. Yeah, I almost like the fact that she quit. It's better for her to quit than for her to, just fizzle out, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, they, if that's the way they're going to go out, that's fine, and it's the way it happens for a lot of the Doctor Who's, for a lot of the Doctors. So it's not really that big of a deal.
Go out on your own terms, even if I didn't like you as the Doctor.
True that.
Okay. Well, you know what time it is, Shane?
What time is it, Brian?
It's time to turn off the stream. And we're going to go over to the Popcast Prime. I'm sorry, we're already there. Just to be clear. We are already at Popcast Prime.
Oh, so yeah.
What's that?
You're multiple streaming to places, and so we've already been streaming to the members.
Yes, the members are watching this. Right now, the members are annoyed that we even have to say this part of it because they're like, move on with the show, Brian. And I'm like, guys, give me 30 more seconds to explain that if you're not a member and you want to see more, because we're going to be talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife, Aquaman 2, Amber Heard, Strange New Worlds, The Flash, Flashpoint, and a Waterworld TV series. Exciting.
Woo!
If you want to be part of that, hit popcast.join. It'll take you right to the page. I would have put in the actual YouTube URL, but it's super long. Popcast.join. It'll forward to our YouTube Prime page, and you can sign up for as little as a cheap cup of coffee and watch the rest of this very long, wonderful stream.
And remember, we couldn't afford the .com, so it's popcast.co. So, because we couldn't afford the M.
Right. Couldn't afford the M. It was too expensive.
So your support of our channel would help us.
Yeah,
Perhaps
maybe we can afford the M in the future.
Yes, I like it.
All right, guys, go to popcast.co/join and watch the rest of the show. But if you're not going to do that, if you're just gone, if you're like, oh, cool, I'm good, that's fine. We'll see you next week. But if you are, we'll see you in about 30 seconds. Everybody else?
Later.
See you later. Bye, Twitter. Bye, TikTok. Bye, Instagram. Bye, Twitch. Bye, Popcast Unleashed. We'll see you at the Popcast Prime channel.
See you guys then.
Okay. Let me just get this stuff off the screen here. Oh, we're back.
Oh, gosh, it was such a night. So, why don't we build in like a break during this? There's no time for breaks. So we're just going to keep
like an hour-long break.
No, just, because our members are watching. So.
Okay.
Yeah. But we're still on right now, right?
Yeah, we are. We are on right now.
Okay. So what I'm saying,
I needed to stop the streaming on one and start that recording. There's so many things. I need like 6 hands. Okay. But we're back. We're back with members only. What's up, guys? Now we can get real. Now Shane can take his shirt off and we can get this party started.
No. Sorry. You almost got me gone. You take your shirt off. That's always better. That works better.
All right. Thank you so much for being members. We love you guys so much. You guys are awesome. And last week I tried to read everybody's names and it was a massive failure. So I'm not going to do that this week. I'm just going to say, I love you guys. And starting next big Popcast video.
Right.
All your names will be in the credits section at the end of the video in a cool title sequence. It's going to be awesome.
Oh my gosh, I wish you could show it to him right now.
I can't. It's not even rendered down. If I tried to show him, my computer would just explode. We're talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife, Aquaman 2, Amber Heard, Strange New Worlds, Flashpoint, and a Waterworld TV series. But before that, Shane, I think you want to address the members.
Yeah, I just thank you guys. We're so glad that you're here. Thank you for supporting the channel. We just couldn't do this without you. And this is kind of fun. I like this secretive portion of the show. Like right now, I'm going to say, I'm getting ready to take my kids to go see. I refuse to. I'm going
to watch it there if it's there. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm going to the theater. I'm taking my kids so we can have expensive popcorn. Although we're going to sneak in the candy. Don't tell nobody. It's funny. My son is always saying, my 12-year-old is like, Dad, that's like against the law to bring your own candy. You can't do that. I said, no, son, it's not against the law. It's that they're trying to rip us off by making us spend $6 on a little box of candy. And if they don't like it, I guess they can kick us out. And he just kind of gives me this look like, I think you're breaking the law. I'm not breaking the law. But I get what you want. It's you're teaching your kids to do the right thing. And here I am not doing the right thing.
Well,
but it's saving us like $40.
I'm not going to lie, guys. I snuck an entire steak dinner with potatoes, mashed potatoes, and like a 6-pack of boobly drinks.
How is that possible?
Because,
what do you carry that in?
I just carried it in. They didn't even care.
Really? You just carried it in?
They watched me carry. Oh my God. Okay. They watched me carry. They watched me carry in like 3 bags of food. My wife and I, we were eating steak. My kids were eating like bags.
So you just carried it into the theater and nobody said anything?
No one said a word, bro.
Oh my gosh! Remember that time we tried to take a camera into the theater, like just on the outside?
Yep, I
And they
remember that.
Chased us off with a security guard.
Yeah, they came out and lost it. I just bought that movie on Disney Plus.
Did you really?
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? This is members only. Yo, you guys want to see a little clip of the movie?
Wait, I don't know. No, wait. I want to go see it.
I want to see if it works. Hold up.
Okay, go ahead. And if you want to do that, but yeah, I don't know if I want to see this. Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
It worked, bro.
Oh my God. This is Jungle Cruise. It's just streaming right to you guys right now.
We're getting a takedown for sure on this.
All right, I'm turn that off before Disney nukes our channel.
I know, right? Be like, what?
All right, I'll be watching that with my kids later on.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go.